Virgo, stop. Just stop what you're doing for a second, because what's coming through right now is not something I can just casually deliver and move on from. There's an urgency to this energy, a pressure, like something that has been building and building has finally reached the point where it absolutely has to move, has to shift, has to break through into the physical reality of your life. And when I feel that kind of pressure, I pay attention, because it means something is coming, something real, something that isn't going to wait much longer. The next 48 hours, I need you to hear that. Not eventually, not soon. 48 hours. Because what I'm feeling around your energy right now has a very specific quality of imminence to it. Like standing right at the edge of something and feeling the air change just before it happens. That's where you are right now, today. Whether you can feel it yet or not. And here's what makes this particular, the surprise that's coming isn't random. It isn't luck falling from the sky onto just anyone. It's the result of something you've been building, something you've been through, something you've been surviving and growing through, and slowly, quietly becoming more of yourself through. And the universe, it responds to that kind of becoming, always, every single time. Maybe not on your timeline, but always. Let me tell you what I'm noticing first, because there's something specific here that I want to address before we go any deeper. There's a tiredness in your energy, not the kind that comes from laziness or giving up, the other kind, the kind that comes from trying, from showing up, from doing the work every single day without a lot of external confirmation that the work is paying off. The kind of tired that builds up when you've been patient for a long time and patience starts to feel indistinguishable from waiting for something that might not come. I see that. I feel that in this energy very clearly. And I want you to know that tiredness is about to be interrupted. Not gradually, not slowly over time, suddenly, in the way that a beautiful surprise interrupts everything, in the way that something genuinely good landing in your life resets the entire tone of your experience. One moment you're carrying the weight of the waiting, and then something happens, and the weight just lifts, just like that. Have you been feeling like you're overdue for something good? Like the universe has been quiet for a little too long? Tell me in the comments. Because that feeling, that specific feeling of being overdue is not your imagination. That's your intuition. Recognizing something your conscious mind hasn't caught up to yet. Okay, so let me go into what this surprise actually is, because I don't want to be vague about this. I want to be as specific as I can about what I'm feeling coming through for you. The first thing that's standing out to me is connection, human connection, someone reaching out, someone making a move that you were not expecting them to make, and the quality of this reach. It's different from what you might be used to. It doesn't have that tentative, testing the waters energy that people sometimes bring when they're not sure. This feels decided. Like someone who has been sitting with something for a while and has finally made a decision about it, finally found the courage, finally gotten tired of not saying what they actually mean and what they actually mean. What they actually mean is significant. It's not small talk. It's not a casual check-in. It's something that has weight to it. Something that when you receive it is going to make you stop. Really stop. And feel something you haven't let yourself feel in a while. Something that opens a door you maybe thought was closed. Does that land for you? Have you been sensing that someone has something they want to say to you? like there's been this unspoken thing hanging in the air between you and someone specific, drop a comment because I feel this so clearly right now. But here's where it gets interesting, because the connection piece is only one part of what's coming. There's something else, something that exists alongside the relational shift. And this one, this one is more practical, more material, more tangible in the day-to-day reality of your life. There's a development coming in the next 48 hours that's connected to your finances or your work, or an opportunity that has been in motion somewhere in the background of your life without you having full visibility into it. Something that someone has been working on or deciding about or putting together that is about to land in your world, and it's going to feel like it came from nowhere. But it didn't come from nowhere. It came from everything you've been putting out, everything you've been doing when you thought no one was watching, everything you've been building quietly without knowing exactly what you were building toward. The beautiful thing about surprises like this is that they always look like luck from the outside, but from the inside, from the place where you know what you've been through and what you've invested and how many times you almost gave up but didn't, they feel like recognition, like finally, like the world catching up to something you already knew about yourself. That's the energy coming towards you. Recognition dressed up as surprise. And it's coming fast. Now, let me talk about something that I feel very specifically in your energy. Something that I think is connected to why this is happening now and not before. You've changed. And I don't mean that in the obvious surface level way. I mean, something has shifted internally in you. Something about how you carry yourself, how you move through situations that used to derail you, how you respond to difficulty now versus how you responded to it before. There's a groundedness to your energy right now that wasn't there in the same way before. A settledness, a quiet confidence that isn't loud, but that is very, very present. And that shift, other people feel it, even when they can't name it, even when they don't have words for what's different about you, they feel the difference. And it changes how they show up for you. It changes what they bring to the table. Because when you stop being desperate for things, things start moving towards you differently. When you stop needing a specific outcome, the energy around you relaxes. And relaxed energy is magnetic in a way that grasping energy never can be. That's where you are right now. You've done something really hard. You've let go of the outcome without letting go of the hope. And that is rare. That is genuinely rare. And the universe responds to that kind of maturity always. Have you noticed yourself feeling more at peace lately, even while things are still unresolved, even while you're still waiting for certain things to come through? Tell me if that resonates, because I feel it so strongly in this energy. Okay. There's another layer here, and I need to go into it because I feel it very specifically. The beautiful surprise that's coming, part of what makes it beautiful is that it's going to arrive in a form you didn't predict. You've probably been imagining how certain things might change, picturing what improvement might look like, building a mental model of what good news would look like if it came. And what's coming is going to be good news, absolutely. But it's going to come through a door you weren't watching, from a direction you weren't monitoring, in a shape you didn't have in your mental model. And that's actually perfect, because the version of the good thing that your mind could have predicted would have been limited by what your mind currently believes is possible, and what's coming exceeds that. It exceeds what you've been allowing yourself to hope for. Not by a little, by enough that your first reaction is going to be genuine surprise, the kind where you have to read something twice or hear something again, or just sit with it for a moment because it doesn't quite fit into the category of things you expected today. That moment, I want you to be ready for that moment, not braced against it, ready for it, open for it. Because when it comes, the temptation might be to immediately start looking for the catch, to start analyzing why this might not be as good as it seems, to start protecting yourself from the hope of it before you've even let yourself feel the goodness of it. Don't do that, okay? Just for once, don't do that. Let the good thing be good before you start stress testing it. Let me talk about the emotional quality of what's coming, because I think this is the part that's going to matter most to you. You've been feeling a certain loneliness lately, not necessarily the kind that comes from being physically alone, the other kind. The kind where you're surrounded by people but feel like nobody is really seeing you, really understanding what you're going through, really tracking the full complexity of your experience. The kind of lonely that comes from feeling like you're carrying things that most people around you don't have the capacity to hold. That feeling is about to shift significantly, because what's coming in the next 48 hours includes being seen, actually seen by someone who has the capacity to hold what you carry, who gets it, who doesn't need everything explained, who meets you at the level you actually operate at rather than the simplified version you present to make things easier for other people. That experience of being truly met is one of the most beautiful things a human being can experience. And it's been a while for you, longer than it should have been. And the universe knows that. And what's coming is, in part, a response to that, a correction of that, a delivery of what you've been needing, even when you've been too tired to actively hope for it. You deserve to be seen fully without having to make yourself smaller or simpler or less. And that's what's coming in the next 48 hours in ways that are going to remind you why staying open was worth it. Now, I want to address something that I feel is sitting just underneath the surface of your energy right now, something you maybe haven't fully said out loud even to yourself. You've been wondering if you made the right choices, not in a dramatic crisis of faith kind of way, more like a quiet background hum of, did I go the right way? Did I choose correctly? Did I waste time on things that weren't worth it? Did I miss something I was supposed to catch? And here's what I want to say about that. The fact that you're asking those questions doesn't mean you went wrong. It means you care about getting things right. It means you're paying attention. It means you're someone who takes their own life seriously. And that quality, that willingness to examine yourself honestly, is actually one of the things that has brought you to this moment, to this threshold, to the edge of these next 48 hours that are going to shift something. Because the universe doesn't reward people who sleepwalk through their lives. It responds to people who are awake, who are paying attention, who are willing to look at where they are and where they want to be and do the uncomfortable work of bridging that gap. You've been doing that work quietly, often without recognition. And this surprise that's coming, it's the recognition. Finally, let me know in the comments if you've been questioning your path lately, because I see that energy so clearly and I want you to know you're not alone in that. Okay, I want to get specific about the 4 8-hour window, because I think it's important that you understand what this means practically, how to be in this window in a way that allows you to actually receive what's coming. The first thing is stay available. I know that sounds simple, but I mean it specifically. Don't overschedule yourself. Don't fill every hour with noise and distraction and busyness. Leave some space, some openness, some room for something unexpected to find you, because beautiful surprises need an opening to get through. They can't land in a life that's completely sealed off. They need a gap, a moment of stillness, a second where you're actually present instead of already 3 steps ahead in your mind. The second thing is trust the instincts that show up in this window. If something feels right, let it feel right without immediately second guessing it. If someone reaches out and something in you responds warmly, let that response exist without talking yourself out of it. If an opportunity presents itself and your gut says yes before your mind has finished analyzing it, listen to the gut. In this specific window, your intuition is operating at a higher level than usual. Trust it more than you normally would. And the third thing is be willing to be surprised. Be willing to be wrong about what you thought was possible. Be willing to let the story of your life take a turn you didn't write, because the best chapters are usually the ones we didn't plan, the ones that arrived uninvited and turned out to be exactly what the story needed. Here's the deeper truth of this reading, and this is the part I really want you to sit with. The beautiful surprise that's coming isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. There's a difference. Things that happen to you are random. Things that happen for you are the result of who you've become and what you've been willing to go through to get here, and what's coming in the next 48 hours falls firmly in the second category. You earned this. Not in the transactional sense where good behavior gets rewarded on a schedule. In the real sense. In the sense that you went through things that were genuinely hard, that tested you in ways you didn't ask to be tested, that asked you to dig deeper than you knew you could go, and you went every time, even when you were exhausted, even when you couldn't see the point, even when hope felt like a liability rather than an asset. That's not nothing, that's everything. And what's coming is proportional to that, proportional to the depth of what you've been through and the genuine, unglamorous, quietly extraordinary way you've handled it. So when it arrives, and it's arriving soon, receive it fully, without the protective layer of disbelief, without the familiar reflex of, this seems too good, without the part of you that's been disappointed before bracing for the catch. Just receive it. Open hands, open heart. Let the beautiful surprise be exactly that, beautiful and surprising and real, because it is real and it's for you, and it's coming in the next 48 hours, whether you're ready or not. But I think you're ready. I think you've been ready for longer than you know. I think the only thing that's been missing is the timing, and the timing is now. Sit with that. Pay attention to what shows up, and trust that whatever arrives in this window arrived for a reason, arrived because of you, arrived because of everything you are and everything you've been willing to become. That's the message. That's what I needed to say today. Take care of yourself and stay open